What's going on, guys? How we doing? Justin Bauer here, Sort of Gymnastics channel. Today's episode is going to be all about how to do the handstand bail. Let's get it started. Alright, so first question is, what the hell is a handstand bail? That was a handstand bail. A handstand bail is a safe way to exit a handstand. When you're in a handstand, there are going to be a lot of different things that can go on. You can fall towards your stomach, you can fall towards your back. The reason why we need to care about doing these different things is we need to get ourselves a lot more confidence. So let's just take this as an example. So imagine you are working on your handstand, but you do not know how to bail backwards. If you do not know how to bail backwards, you're going to be timid, you're going to be kicking up, and you're going to be failing. If you flip that, let's just say we are confident, we know how to bail backwards, you're going to be able to get to that perfect handstand line, and you're going to know that it's going to be 110% okay because you're not going to die. So this is going to be the one time where I'm focusing and emphasizing safety, alright? And take it from me, I'm not a big safety guy. I can pretty much count on one hand the amount of condoms I've used in the last 10 years. Alright guys, let me reel it in. In all seriousness, the handstand bail is going to make you a lot more confident in your own abilities, and also it's going to prevent a lot of injuries, alright? So injuries are going to slow you down. That's not what we're here for. We're not here about that. We're not all about that on the Sort of Gymnastics channel. It's all about moving forward. And actually real quick, this is a comment by 𝗕𝗂𝗀𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆. Wanted to learn how to bail, and this is the video, dude. So thanks for the recommendation, and thanks for your support, dude. Let's get it started. In today's video, we are going to be covering three things. We are going to cover handstand bail from the wall, handstand bail from freestanding, and also handstand bail from the parallettes. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you some more advanced bails, such as the forward roll bail. If you do have access to a gymnastics floor, some sort of puzzle mats, martial arts floor, I'd highly recommend learning that move on there. And again, guys, do not injure yourself. That's just a preface. Otherwise, in this video, there are a lot of things that you can do on a hard floor, on pretty much whatever carpet, and you're not going to get injured. So the first bail we're going to be covering today is the back against the wall bail. This is where a lot of people are going to be starting their handstand journey. They're going to kick up and hold this thing for time. This bail is called the stomach bail. This is by far the easiest and most secure bail. The only thing that can really go wrong here is if your elbows buckle. So absolutely do not let your elbows buckle. Keep everything nice and tight. Keep your biceps by your ears, and then bring your feet safely to the floor. So the next logical step to the handstand is flipping your body around and getting your stomach against the wall. The thing is, bailing here is a little bit tricky. And also even getting into this position, if you are a beginner, is a little bit tricky. So I'd recommend putting your hands on the floor and then kicking up into this position. So walking up to the handstand. This is going to be more difficult than your back against the wall because that fear of falling backwards is very real in this position. So the simplest way to exit this position, if you are starting to feel uncomfortable or fatigued, is simply reverse it, walk your hands forward, bring your feet to the floor with a little bit of a hopping motion. This is going to get you off the wall, and it's going to prevent you from falling over backwards. So the next bail is actually a very cool bail. It is called the quarter turn pirouette. So a big thing to note on this one, it is very similar to the cartwheel. So imagine your first hand down on a cartwheel. That hand is most likely going to be staying planted. The other hand is going to pick up, kind of meet in a quarter turn position, and you're going to be able to drop your hips just like that. Very cool movement. You kind of feel like a badass doing it, but the thing is, it does require a little more coordination. And I remember when I was learning this, I was kicking the wall all over the place. So I'd recommend getting a wall with a lot of space, get all the tables, get all the bullshit out of the way, because you're gonna be throwing legs around when you're doing this. When I'm doing this movement, I will do a little bit of a foot tap off the wall to give myself that quarter turn rotation. So I cartwheel with my left hand down, my left hand stays planted. I'm noticing I'm going to fall. At this point, I give myself a little kick with the right foot. At the same time, I pick up my right hand. So at this point, I'm a quarter turn from the wall. I just let my feet down like I normally would. A stomach bail from there, very easy. I look cool, I feel cool. Everyone in the gym looks at me and they're like, damn, this guy's legit. You're gonna be legit too in no time, okay? So another thing you can do when your stomach is against the wall is combine the two. You can combine walking forward on your hands and then a little bit of a quarter turn. That is gonna get you further from the wall. It's going to get your feet further from the wall, and it's going to give you a lot more added stability in that lower angled position. Once you're more of a veteran, just do this straight up quarter turn, kick off, skate away, and be legit. You can do a forward roll out of this position. However, I would recommend doing the freestanding forward roll prior to this, and we're gonna cover that in this video, so stay tuned. So now that you are hooked into this video, it is time for a shameless plug. I recently completed a calisthenics quick start guide. boards, which covers the handstand, it covers the muscle up, and also the front lever. And because you are here, you are working on how to bail and how to learn and develop your handstand, I think this guide is absolutely going to be awesome for you. It gives you actionable steps on how to take a handstand from start to scratch. Like if I had all of my knowledge, but I didn't have any of my skill, this is exactly where I would start. So I think it's going to be super useful for you. So again, the link is in the bio, 15-page free PDF, absolutely no bullshit. And the plug right here. So that's the end of the plug. Let's cover the freestanding handstand bail. The easiest handstand bail is going to be bailing towards your stomach. Basically just put a foot down and you're gonna be all right. So very easy bail, and I'd recommend doing that one if you're gonna fall. The second bail is going to be the quarter turn pirouette. Again, technique wise, very, very similar to when you do it on the wall. The only caveat here is that you don't have any wall to kick off with. So when you're falling towards your back, you're going to be getting a little bit of that momentum towards your backside. What you do here, again, keep that first cartwheeling hand planted, pick up that second hand, put that thing down, and kind of turn over to safety. It is a very safe move, it's a very stable move. I'd highly recommend doing this one and really learning it if you're working on your freestanding handstand. I remember when I started gymnastics, I didn't really have this one down, and I know that I always had that fear in the back of my mind about having that handstand. I never wanted to go over. I was always kind of a little bit scared about that, but literally after a week of me focusing on how to bail like this, I had this on the floor, I had this on parallel bars. So I brought up that confidence in the beginning of the video. It's actually really important because the entire time when you're focusing on balancing a handstand, you're gonna be constantly adjusting and always at risk for falling for one way or another. And if you are uncomfortable bailing backwards, you're gonna have an oh shit freak out and fall to the ground, and your training isn't gonna be as effective. So seriously, when I say that confidence is big, I'm saying confidence is big. That's not big confidence. Big handstand confidence. That's that big handstand confidence. And lastly, probably what you're here for, the freestanding forward roll. Ooh. Alright, so before we jump into this one, before we just jump right on into this one, is we need to talk about seriously the thing underneath you. You need to have something soft. Because what's gonna happen is you're just gonna fall forward, you're gonna fall like right here on top of your lungs, and you could potentially knock the air out of yourself. Not really sexy, and then at that point you're gonna be like, I don't really wanna do this, I hate calisthenics, this is stupid, and you're gonna unsubscribe from my channel. So I'm here for you, because if I make you good, if I give you skills, you're gonna give me that, you're gonna smack that subscribe button. And what's best for you is what's best for you is also best for me. Alright, now let's get this thing going. Realistically, I even learned on pillows, or we're using puzzle mats, things like that. Anything soft that can kind of absorb some of it. Because when you're gonna start this move, it's not gonna be pretty. I'm gonna be honest, you're gonna f this thing up. So enough chitter, enough chatter. The technique to this, slowly lower yourself down with your arms, tuck your chin, round your back, and then use that curvature of your body to roll off. And ideally, if you can, roll up to your feet because it kind of looks cool. And that's another thing too, we like being ninjas in this channel. So if your spine is not rounded and your spine is flat, you're gonna be hitting and then slamming. So I would not recommend jumping into this movement right off the gate. I would recommend just doing a few forward rolls. Do a few basic forward rolls with both hands on the floor and then kind of just kicking over and rolling. This is the same rolling motion that we're gonna be using when we're in a full handstand, but we're again gonna be starting very, very small. So then from here, just to progress this movement, our kick up higher and higher. So you jump into that tucked handstand, try to hold that tucked handstand momentarily, and then proceed to do the upper body motions. So from here, you can just go higher and higher and higher. After you're comfortable with the tucked handstand forward roll, try to do like a kick up handstand. Do a kick up handstand, don't worry about holding it too much, and then execute the same rolling motion from there. So once you're comfortable with this, you can just kind of do the full thing, do that handstand motion, remember that tucked feeling, remember that tucked roll that you had. It is a very cool movement, but again, I'd recommend only really doing this if you are on something soft. Like even when I train my handstands, I will almost never do this move. I will always do a quarter turn pirouette, I'll always do a stomach bail, because it is kind of painful. Granted, if I were on a gymnastics floor, I'd be rolling all day. I'm not always on the gymnastics floor, you're probably not either. So a parallel handstand, again, I'm gonna recommend our two favorite types of bails, the stomach bail and the quarter turn pirouette. This one, I'd really recommend focusing on that, getting that quarter turn pirouette down. Again, the same motion, pick up that hand that goes second in that cartwheel, keep that first one planted, and then kind of turn and get your feet off to the sides. You wanna guide your feet like nice little guided missiles and just stick them in somewhere safe. Again, having both of these bails is going to make you that much more confident because you can bail towards your stomach, you can bail towards your back, so when you're training your handstand and you kind of get into one of these oh shit positions, you know you've got it. You know you got it, baby, you got it. So that is going to be it for the handstand bails. If you're new to handstands, I highly recommend getting all of these down for the various reasons that I mentioned. And if you guys are new to this channel, feel free to throw it a subscribe. I'm also going to link to a few different handstand videos, handstand mobility and how I held my first freestanding handstand. One trick that I used was being in the straddle handstand position, so just like that. Basically, again, a lower center of gravity so it's easier to hold, and that is how I really started rocketing up my handstand. And if you guys are interested in that sort of stuff, again, the free PDF, 15 pages, 15 whole pages of handstanding, front levering, and muscling up. So shameless plug, check that stuff out if you want it. The content is really solid, and that is going to be it. Feel free to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. This has been Justin Bauer, Sword of Gymnastics channel. See you guys soon.